Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, it looks like tonight is going to be a great night on Halloween night, but expect the unexpected. And for what I do know, Pikachu, that tonight might be a great night on Halloween.
Pika Pika, Pikachu, Pika Pika, Pika Pika Pika, Pika Pika, Pikachu.
You tell me right there, buddy. But the question on my mind is, what is Astro and Sonic, along with Cole, going to be wearing for Halloween? Hey, Ash. Happy Halloween. Astro, is that you? You're dressed up like a little kitty cat. That is an amazing costume. Thanks, Ash, but this ain't no ordinary kitty cat costume. I am dressed up as Astro Kitty. Astro Kitty? That is one amazing costume you got there, Astro. But something tells me, though, we don't even know what Sonic's going to be wearing for Halloween. What do you think? I have no idea there, Ash, but Sonic didn't tell me what he was wearing today. But apparently we'll find out.
Happy Halloween, you two. Oh, wait a minute. Astro, you're dressed up like a kitty cat. I gotta say, that looks like an amazing costume. And Ash, why are you dressed up as one of the members of Team Rocket? I mean, that's one way past cool costume you got there.
Thanks for that, Sonic, but why are you dressed up like John Cena on Halloween? I mean, it may be Halloween, but come on. Out of all the costumes, John Cena? That's one of Colt 412's heroes you're dressed up as.
Well, hey, Ash, I mean, we are reviewing a movie today, and it is Halloween, though. And I had to pick this costume because we are reviewing a movie that came out last October 5th, and it was way past cool.
Well, hey, that sounds like an amazing idea there, Sonic. I mean, since it is Halloween after all, I say this review is going to be amazing, but maybe this time Astro and Mega Man could join us for this review.
Hey, guys, has anybody seen Cole anywhere? I mean, it is Halloween, but he didn't tell any of us who he's going to be dressing up as this year, since it is Halloween.
Hey, Mega Man, we haven't seen Cole anywhere, but he didn't tell us who he was going to be dressing up as this year. Since something tells me, though, since it is Halloween night, expect the unexpected.
Did somebody mention my name?
Cole, is that you? You're dressed up like the Undertaker.
The Undertaker? That seems like a great choice there, Cole. I gotta say, though, that's a great costume for you. You got it all right there, Ash, but thanks for the compliments, Mega Man. And plus, I gotta say though, this review is going to be amazing. And I overheard everything there, Ash, because that's a great idea. I think Mega Man and Astro should join us on this review because this film came out since October 5th, and I say it's a great time to review it.
Thanks for the opportunity, Cole. I mean, for Mega Man and I, we've never done a review before, but the last time you guys did a review, which was a few months ago, where it was, on the other hand, where it's only you and Sonic and Ash that reviewed it instead of me and Mega Man while we were playing tag.
Hey, that is all too true there, Astro. And besides, I mean, since it is Halloween after all, I believe that all of us should review this film that came out last October 5th because I gotta say though, that's a great costume you got there, Cole.
Well, I gotta agree on Sonic on this one there, Cole. Besides, your costume looks amazing. How did you come up with the idea to dress up like The Undertaker?
Oh, it was nothing there, Ash. And besides, I think you guys are right about one thing. I think Astro and Mega Man should join us on this review because last time we did a review, it was just me and Sonic along with you, Ash. But alright, let's get straight to the point. Now, anyways, if anyone has not seen this film, I strongly suggest you should skip ahead. And if anyone has seen the film, please stay tuned and watch the whole ordeal. And that way, this video contains spoiler alerts, so feel free to skip ahead if you have not seen this film. Well, alrighty then. The film starts off where there's an opening of The Undertaker, and where he reveals as he spent a lifetime of going through every power he learned of the dark arts, but throughout the whole ordeal, none were compared to the urn's power, knowing the urn has revealed so much history throughout his lifetime and legacy in professional wrestling, along with Paul Bearer. Well, you got all of that right there, Sonic, but basically, though, it reveals that Undertaker wants you to at least try to get the urn, which involves the New Day, but then he asks you, are you ready? Then you get to select whether or not if you're ready or too scared. But when you click ready, you see the Undertaker and a skeleton right in your face. Which leads to the opening title of Escape the Undertaker. But after that got done, the New Day arrive at the Undertaker's house, and when they kept knocking on the door and ringing the doorbell, the Undertaker was looking on in his house, which had like monitors and security systems, which identified the New Day and their legacy in the business. But for what they'd done, that led to where they wanted the urn since they knew the Undertaker wasn't wrestling anymore, so they thought maybe why not have the urn, which would make the New Day unstoppable and make them the best tag team of all time.
But yet, though, Mega Man, the story was revealed that basically that the urn would like to consume the souls of the good. That's the only thing that it liked. But when the Undertaker let them in, there was like 3 options you had to select. Either go in the room with the lights, follow the smoke, or follow the whispers in the house. But ironically enough, that led to where Kofi Kingston went upstairs and saw a portrait of Paul Bearer. Then he heard whispers and a painting which involved the urn and a couple that looked like to be some sort of ritual or sacrifice. But yet, though, that led to where Xavier Woods was downstairs trying to see what was going on in the basement, see what they could find, until he saw a symbol of what looked like to be part of the sacrifice and ritual. But there was the smoke that was coming out. But out of all of that, it led to everything in particular when that symbol on the door of the basement said otherwise.
And yet, though, that's where Big E was in the room with the lights. When we looked around the room, he saw a trophy case involving all the championships that The Undertaker had won. Like the big gold championship, the commemorative Undertaker championship that looks like the Winged Eagle championship, and of course, the Smoking Skull belt, one of the prestigious championships that was created by the legendary Stone Cold Steve Austin. When he found the urn, he was like, what is that? But when he took a seat on the Undertaker's throne, he thought he felt like a king, but then when he got captured, he was screaming for help for Kofi and Xavier to help him out. But prestigiously, I have that Smoking Skull belt in my collection.
There's no way. How can you have that championship in your collection knowing that you're dressed up as The Undertaker? How do you have that championship in your collection?
I absolutely do have that championship in my collection, Ash. You say I don't. Do you really think that I don't have the championship in my collection right now?
Do you really have that championship in your collection, 412? Because I don't even believe that for a fact.
Huh. I wouldn't say otherwise that you think there, Ash, because I really do have that championship in my collection.
Whoa! How did you get that championship? It looks amazing. How did you get it? I've never seen it before until now.
That's a story for a different time, Ash. Now, basically, back to the review. As you could tell, when Xavier and Kofi saved Big E, it led to the whole ordeal where the urn was shown and something was pouring out of underneath the urn, which looks like the Big E's soul. But when the Undertaker revealed it, that led up to the whole ordeal.
But yet, though, throughout the whole ordeal, that the Undertaker revealed to them that the ritual has begun, and that the only way to get the urn was to find 2 keys. But however, when they spotted the keyhole, they had to look upstairs or downstairs.
But yet, though, when you look upstairs, that's where you see the portrait again. Then you see a huge library, and you see a potion that says power. They didn't want to take the power, but that was until Big E put it in his pocket, because it could have been used for something in particularly. But when they looked upstairs and saw a crocodile, when Xavier stepped on something, the crocodile mouth opened with something inside. But leading up to the whole ordeal, Big E tried to help, but when Kofi Kingston saw a hidden passageway through another room, but if you follow Kofi, you see the monitors where Undertaker was watching the New Day, and of course, Paul Bearer would keep saying things like "face the Undertaker" and all that. But I was stunned enough that you either had a choice to face the Undertaker or flee.
But before it got to the whole ordeal, that Big E helped out Xavier by throwing him up there, but Big E had his foot on the button, which led the crocodile mouth being open. Xavier got something inside, but when he stepped off the pad, which made him feel a little dazed and confused for what's happening to his soul, then the crocodile mouth closed, but Xavier said, "Open it, open it." But when he opened it, and when Xavier came down, everyone thought that he lost his hand after being bitten by the crocodile mouth. And it was shown that Xavier got the key, leading straight to the urn. But yet, though, you got all that right there, Sonic, but however, it led to where Xavier's hand was still intact after the crocodile mouth. Then that was where they thought they had the key, but Kofi was missing, and they thought he left them, but no, he didn't. That led to where, if you pick Flea, Kofi would hide in the air vent trying to get out, but that was until the Undertaker came back in the room, what looked like to be a tuna fish sandwich. But throughout the whole ordeal, Kofi overheard his friends claiming that they claimed that he fled, and then that was where it led up to where Kofi came back to his friends. But when they opened it, the only thing missing now was the final key to the urn.
We got all that right there, Mega Man, but however, when they went downstairs next to find the final key to the urn, that led to where the whole ordeal led up, where it started with, they opened the door, and it looked like a morgue in the Undertaker's house, but Big E pointed out that it is the Undertaker. But the whole ordeal was when they read the toe tag, it said Isaac Yankem. But the far as what we do know is that he said that the fog was completely harmless, but when he walked through it, you either choose to either follow Xavier or stay behind and get the final key throughout the whole ordeal.
Well, on the other hand, though, if you follow Xavier, then you'll see him in a dark room being beat up at the hands of the Undertaker. But Undertaker tries to reason with him that claiming the whole ordeal that his friends wanted the urn for themselves. But technically it wasn't true. Undertaker was playing mind games with Xavier. But before it got to that, that's where it led up to where Kofi had to get all the way up away from the fog. But when he got all the way to the side trying to get the final key, but when he got there, he found the key and got it, and the fog disappeared. But when they went back in the other room to finally open up the urn, that's where Xavier popped up and basically the whole ordeal began when they unlock the final part to touch the urn and finally get out of there. But however, though, Undertaker told him not so fast. The only way to claim the urn is to face your deepest, darkest fears. But when all three of them touch them, you can either choose to follow Xavier's fear, Kofi's fear, or Big E's fear. But when it got straight to Xavier's fear, he was afraid of being stuck in small spaces when he was being buried alive by The Undertaker within the casket. Undertaker told him, you can either join him to take out Kofi and Big E, or stay positive and fight back against the casket. But when you choose positive, Xavier refused to join The Undertaker after all that. Then it breaks down to where Kofi's fear was being doubtful at times, where he got the phone call and the voices that he heard from the Whispers were telling him to either keep the urn for himself, and he wanted more powerful, to be the best WWE superstar that he was. But when it came down to when he saw the TV monitor, that Daniel Bryan said he was nothing more but a B-plus player and will never be the WWE champion. But if you choose to stay positive and fight back against this fear, Kofi would destroy everything, and he would never, ever do that to his friends. Yet, though, the final fear was Big E. After when he got his soul back, that was until he was in a dark room with a chair and a box on his head. And that was led to where The Undertaker showed up, and he finally noticed that the only fear that he was afraid of were spiders. But when he tried to at least try to reason with him to either join The Undertaker or stay in there with the fear for the rest of the whole ordeal. But when you choose positive, Big E stayed positive from his fear, and that was till after all their fears were done, it led into a room where all three of them were in caskets, and all three of them were face to face, eye to eye with the dead man himself, The Undertaker.
And yet, though, after all of that, that was where The Undertaker noticed that all they wanted was his urn, knowing he welcomed them into his home. And the only thing The Undertaker said was, if you want the urn, you're going to have to go through me. Then The Undertaker took off his trench coat and hat. That's when the fight was about to break out. You gotta choose Big E hitting it with the wood, or letting it to where Kofi would kick him, or Xavier going for the punch. But when you choose Big E, he tries to go for the first shot, but Undertaker fought back against everyone in the New Day any way that he could to make sure that they would never, ever take the urn from him. But yet, though, Astro, you're right about all that. But however, as they were fighting off The Undertaker, that was until they both took him down, and they asked, is he dead? But he wasn't. He got them both by the throat, and he was chained up to the table. But throughout the whole ordeal, that was until you were to select to either destroy the urn or basically grab it. But when Big E had the potion, he destroyed the urn, and Undertaker disappeared like he was never to be seen from again.
And yet, though, the New Day had survived The Undertaker. But that led to the casket lighting up a bit. And they were like, that wasn't here before. But when they went inside the casket, they left The Undertaker's house, and they survived. And the ending was phenomenal when it led to either select Rest in Peace or exit the credits. But when you selected Rest in Peace, The Undertaker congratulates you and takes his hat off to you. And I gotta say, though, that was one of the best interactive films that was ever created back on October 5th. I have to agree with you there, Sonic. That was one of the best interactive films that any of us had ever seen. I give this one 5 out of 5. Well, Mega Man, I give it 10 out of 10 because this was the best interactive film that was ever created. Because it looks like Escape the Undertaker is the best one of all time. Well, I'm going to have to go with Cole on this one, Mega Man. Sorry. I give it 10 out of 10 because something tells me, though, that this was, I believe, the best interactive film ever created. And I believe it's the best one, and I believe it was way past cool.
I give it 10 out of 10 because something tells me, though, that The Undertaker will forever be known as one of the greatest legends of all time and one of the future Hall of Famers in the history of wrestling. I'm going to have to go with 10 out of 10 because this was the best interactive film of all time on October 5th Because something tells me, though, that right down the road, that this is going to be the best Halloween of all time right here tonight.
You and me both, Ash. And I gotta say, though, to everyone that has been seeing the end of this video, I want to say to everyone from the bottom of my heart and from everyone here, we want to say to you, Happy Halloween, and be sure to stay safe.